Did the barbarity surprise you? I know the events probably didn't surprise you.
What surprised me was the attack itself, that it was not stopped by Israel. That surprised the world, not just me. Israelis are known for their intelligence, but the massacre itself did not surprise me because I understand how much they hate. And that's why I titled my book, Because They Hate. The massacre, the venom that are being fed from their mother's milk to hate the Jews. Arab children, from the time they're born, they teach their children how much to hate the Jews. And that's the sad reality. Because even in my country, when I was growing up in Lebanon, remember, Lebanon was the only country to accept the third wave of Palestinian refugees into the country in 1974-75. I was a 10-year-old little girl. My father owned a restaurant, and we were watching the images of the Palestinians coming into Lebanon on our television, the first TV in town. And I would hear the conversations on the tables in the restaurant, people talking to each other. Oh, the bloody Jews, look what they're doing to the Palestinians. The general teaching, not in my household, obviously, because we are Christians, but the general teaching across the Arabic world is Israel is Satan, Israel Azrael. This has not changed. It actually got worse because in the Palestinian territories, they teach the children to hate the Jews because the Jews have horns, the Jews are evil, the Jews are satanic. And this is why you see the barbarism happening. But the barbarism is not new. And it's only not directed at Israel only. This is why people think, oh my gosh, Hamas, we need to feel sorry for the poor Palestinians. People need to understand that throughout the Middle East, they have zero tolerance for minorities. And Israel is the bullseye in their eye because they could not kick Israelis out. I mean, look, they tried to eliminate the Armenians in Turkey. The same type of massacres, the beheading, the killing, the stabbing of a mother pregnant, getting the baby out, stabbing her in the stomach. I mean, we're hearing the stories out of Gaza. They did the same thing to the Armenians in Turkey in the beginning of the century. Israel didn't even exist. 2 million Armenians were massacred. They did it to the Christians in Lebanon. They did it to the Yazidis in Iraq. Have we forgotten what ISIS did to the Yazidis? What Hamas did to the Israelis is basically ISIS 2.0. Nothing has changed. It's the same tactics with the same barbarity that no one in the civilized world should accept or stand for. I can understand if people want to fight for their rights. Okay, fine. Fight man to man. Take it to the world stage. Go to the United Nations. Make your case. You don't go in and kidnap 6-month-old babies, 5-year-old babies, 2-year-old grandbabies. You're a father. I'm a mother. We have children. Can you imagine somebody taking our children? Grandmothers who are on medications. This is barbaric behavior and it's unacceptable.
Why do you think so much of the world seems unable, or at least the Western world seems unable to see this with clear eyes? Is it fear? Is it stupidity? Is it confusion? Is it propaganda?
It's propaganda. It's propaganda, and we live in an age where everybody does not want anybody to say anything bad about them. We live in the age of feelings. It's no longer about logic. Everything is about feeling. It's not about whether something is good for you or not, or whether something makes sense. It's about how do you feel? How does this make you feel? We live in a world that's driven by feelings nowadays, and it is fueled by social media. And so nobody wants to see children suffering. But when you look at the Palestinians, sometimes they even fake the images of the children who are suffering. They've done that in the past. We have seen them do it. This is not to minimize children's suffering, but we need to understand that the perpetrators of evil continue to perpetrate their evil, and we cannot stand for that. But this is also aided and abetted by the leftist socialist Marxists in the West who do not want to rock the boat. And I have to tell you, especially in the leftist Jewish community, I am not silenced by the Muslims. I am silenced when I speak by the radical lefty Jews who feel that if I speak that way, it could create problems for them. Let's not rock the boat. I remember giving a speech at Duke University in 2004. And in my speech, it was a pro-Israeli speech on the eve of the Palestinian Solidarity Movement at Duke University. And part of my speech was, obviously my speech was about terrorism. And I said the difference between Israel and the Arabic world is a difference between civilization and barbarism, a difference between democracy and dictatorship, a difference between goodness and evil. Do you know that it was the Jewish community that condemned me and issued an apology to the Palestinians for inviting me because I offended the Palestinians? If you Google my name on social media, every single bad article written about me, it's either the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, the Southern Poverty Law Center, the SPLC, the ACLU, major Jewish organizations. It's not the Muslims. It's not CARE. So sometimes it's the Jewish community who silences those who are speaking up and calling the barbarity, because they think if we are so inclusive and so tolerant and so into diversity, equity, and inclusion, they're going to like us because they're going to see how nice we are. They don't get the problem.
Are you getting some emails? I'm getting an awful lot of emails from liberal or lefty Jews right now who are kind of like, Dave, you know, I haven't really liked you or listened to you over the last couple of years, but now I'm kind of getting it. Are you getting those too?
Unfortunately, not yet, but I hope to get that sometime.
I'll forward you a couple. You can. It goes to you too.
You know, it's sad, but you know, it's people like you and me who are speaking out forcefully against evil. And look how you were attacked. Look how I was attacked. And yet we continue to speak up because we do it not for them, because we do it because of us, who we are as people. We will not sit silent watching evil being perpetrated. And I think it is time for the community, for the Jewish community, as well as anybody who's got a conscience in this world, to stand up and say enough is enough. And by the way, where are the Palestinian mothers condemning this behavior? Where are the Palestinian daughters saying, look, we do not accept the kidnapping of 6-month-old children or 2-year-old little girls, or the rape of teenage girls, or the torture and rape and humiliation of grandmothers? Where are the Palestinian voices speaking up right now?